Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we're here to unbox the Nintendo Switch OLED Splatoon 3 edition. But not only that, we also have the newly released Splatoon 3 Pro Controller and the Splatoon 3 case. So I say we start with the Splatoon 3 OLED, and then we'll unbox the case and Pro Controller. But enough about that, let's just jump right into it. Before we look at what's even inside, we have to look at the box itself. We have the OLED at the bottom, Splatoon 3 logo, and the official box art. I am a big fan of this, but we also have the side, and we see the logo with some graffiti in the background, what the OLED is capable of, and we also have a little disclaimer at the top. The box has two sides, because on the other side we have what's included in the box, and a lot of text that I won't bother to read right now. Moving on to the back, we have a lot of official images of the Switch itself in all sorts of ways you can play it, in handheld and in tabletop mode, or with the Joy-Cons separately, with or without wrist straps. And we have the standard Nintendo logo on the top. We also see the bottom here with loads of text, but let's just crack this one open because I'm just so excited to see how this looks in person. Wait, why does it look like it's already been out of the box? It's because I already took it out. You did what? Well, the box was just lying there and you were waiting to do the unboxing when the Pro Controller and case came out. And well, I'm just not that patient, so I took it out of the box, played it a bit, and then put it back in. Are you serious? The viewers, it's gonna look horrible on camera now. I'm sorry, I really didn't think anyone would notice. It's okay, you couldn't help yourself, and the viewers will just have to understand that it's your fault. Yeah, sure, I'm sorry again. I'll be on my way. Anyway, let's get back to this unboxing. So first off, we have the Switch itself. Let's get it out of the package. And it's the normal OLED display, nothing fancy, but if we turn it around, oh, look at that. We have the Octolink symbol and a bunch of other Splatoon-themed graffiti on the back. And up here we have the squid symbol, and it's just, in my opinion, absolutely perfect. We also have the top here, which looks fairly similar, actually completely identical to the normal OLED, together with the sides and bottom. Nothing really fancy there, but my god, is that background just beautiful. Next up we have the Joy-Cons, and let's start with the right one. Oh, just look at that gradient. This is the first time we have gradient colored Joy-Cons, and the graffiti from the top to the bottom, and we even have the squid symbol there. And if we turn it around, it's completely white with some circles down at the bottom to symbolize a squid. I just absolutely love how this Joy-Con turned out. It's just completely in harmony with the colors and everything. And of course we also have the side with the small bumpers being in white. Yeah, I could talk about the right Joy-Con all day, but we also have the equally beautiful left Joy-Con. Let me get the package out of the way real quick. And just look at this thing. I love how they've branded these as, the right is squid themed and the left one is octopus themed. Absolutely beautiful. The backside also has some different circles, again to symbolize the difference between these two species. And then of course we also have to look at the side of the Joy-Con, which is identical to the right one with the white bumpers, and that was the upper part of this Switch OLED. We also have a little compartment here with a manual. Let's see if I can close this thing. And the manual, well, it's a manual. You can look at it if you want, but I'm just gonna put it right down here. So now let's get this card box thing out of the way, because below we have a lot of other stuff to unbox. And let's start with the dock. And if we can get it out of this bubble wrap and this other unpacking, we see the beautiful splat with some graffiti very similar to what we have on the back side of the Switch itself. We have the logo in the middle, and if we turn it around, we have pretty much the same thing, a Nintendo logo with Splatoon-themed graffiti to cover the whites. If we pop this open, we have, well, it's identical to any other OLED dock, and inside of it, it's also identical. But that's not what you're going to be looking at. You're going to be looking at the back if you're setting cables in, or the front. We're also going to set cables in, but mostly just have it standing there with your Switch in it. And coming up, we have the Nintendo Switch charger, and well, you know what you get here. It's nothing special, but it's always good to have one extra on hand. And this, I think, is the grip, and would you look at that? It's just a standard old grip, nothing on it. I'm a bit disappointed, to say the least. What I'm not disappointed with is the wrist straps, and we'll start with the left wrist strap, which actually matches the left Joy-Con. Would you believe that? It has the same color as the left-hand Joy-Con, and although it's only black, you know, on the part that sits on the Joy-Con, it just looks marvelous. It's just that it matches with the joystick and D-pad buttons. Yeah, I think it was intentional they left it dark. And now we have the right wrist strap, and, you know, instead of being purple, it's more yellow-greenish. And again, it just fits perfectly on the right-hand Joy-Con. And again, the black looks marvelous on it, even though it's not really on theme with Splatoon. So let's put this aside, and we have the last thing in the box now. It's, well, the HDMI cable. You know what you get. Again, just like the charger, it's an HDMI cable that you use to connect your Switch's dock to the TV. And that marks the end of the Switch's OLED unboxing. I'm going to show like a couple of different scenarios you can use them in and how that looks. So here we have it in the dock, we have it in tabletop mode, and I will actually show you how it looks when you play on it in tabletop mode. It has the gorgeous OLED display, and man, let me tell you, it just looks good when playing. Here you can see the graffiti in all its glory while I'm playing, and if we take the two Joy-Cons and put them on the grip, well, when playing it looks a little something like this. And that was everything included in the Switch OLED Splatoon 3 edition. And now with that out of the way, I think we should move on to the Splatoon 3 Special Edition Pro Controller and case. And I'll start here with the case just so we build up that anticipation for the Pro Controller. So we'll start with looking at the box, and on the one hand side we see a couple of different methods to using the case, on the other hand side we see the inside and the outside, and we have a little logo on the top together with, well, this bottom. And what's cool is that you get two screen protectors, one for an OLED and one for a Switch included. So let's just get this one open. And here it comes, and we must not forget the screen protector. I'll start with just looking at what's inside besides the case, because we have the regular Switch screen protector, and we also have, let's see if I can find it, the OLED screen protector. There's a little bit difference on how the screen layout is, so they have two different ones. We also have the little manual here, which shows you how to put on the screen protector, for instance. But here's the real star of that box, and it's the case itself, of course. And would you look at that? It's completely white with the same graffiti. Well, it's not completely the same, but it's like the same style of graffiti. We have the squid there, we have the octoling, and a bunch of other Splatoon-themed items. And it's just so creative. It looks so good. And on the other hand side, well, it's a lot of the same, just with different kinds of logos and a different way of setting them up. And just look at these. Oh, they have the two different colors that match the Switch OLED itself, so it'll look awesome when you take it in and out of this case. Let's open it and see if there's anything inside. And no, it's just dark, and that's a bit disappointing, but you'll see this case from the outside most likely. And you also have these little slots for putting in games together with this little, well, you can maybe put your wrist straps in there. And that was the case itself. So I'll take this away, just give me a second, and then we'll move on to the Pro Controller. And this is what I'm really excited to unbox. So we have the side here, the top. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. I can't contain myself. So here we have the Pro Controller itself. It has this cable included to charge the Pro Controller itself, and it's just a standard USB to USB-C type cable. But here it is, the Special Edition Pro Controller. Would you look at that? We're gonna peel this off real quick. Yeah, here we have the front of the controller with all the splats, and you can see here the two different colors of the handles of the Pro Controller itself. And the back with all sorts of stuff like graffiti, the top is untouched, but that doesn't take anything away from this being probably my favorite looking Pro Controller yet. And it's just so nice to finally have a new Pro Controller to play with. This was my old one for reference, and you can see how used it is on all parts. Yeah, this Splatoon 3 Pro Controller is here to stay. And would you look at that? That is everything unboxed in its glory. I just can't get over how good this set looks together. The Switch in the case, the Pro Controller with the Switch in the dock. everything just syncs beautifully in harmony. It might not be the most, beneficial upgrade, but let's say you have a regular Switch or don't have a Switch at all and are planning to get a Switch OLED, then this is definitely something for you. I can look at this all day. But that was the unboxing. Are you planning on getting this special edition Splatoon 3 OLED, Pro Controller or carrying case? Well, let us know down in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our website nintendolife.com for all sorts of Nintendo related content. Stay safe, play some Splatoon 3. Felix from Nintendo Life, out.